The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. This is Laura Stewart, Director of Online Channel Events for SaaSmax, and we're excited to have you all here. And as you heard, I said good morning, afternoon, evening, because we have people joining this webinar from all over the world and in every different time zone you can possibly imagine. So wherever you are, whatever time of day, welcome to this webinar. I'm excited to present Contractworks to those of you who have never seen it before, and if you have, we'll be excited to hear your questions. This is one of those products, and when I was an MSP and I dealt a lot in the legal field, it would have been so wonderful if I had known about this product, because this is so simple and so easy to use. It almost sells itself. So let's get started with our webinar today. The agenda for today, we're going to talk a little bit about SaaSmax, then I'll introduce you to Contractworks, and Will Reynolds will be presenting. We'll talk about why clients buy Contractworks. You'll learn the sales model, pricing, commissions, extra incentives, and you'll even get to see a little bit of a revenue calculator to see exactly how much money you can make and how quickly you can make it. Then we'll talk about how you get started with Contractworks and how you can get started with SaaSmax if you're not already a reseller. We're going to ask that you type in your questions in the question pane of your GoToWebinar dashboard, or if for some reason you're having trouble with it in the questions pane, please use the chat window. I will be monitoring all of that throughout the webinar. So a little bit about SaaSmax. We offer special incentives from channel-friendly SaaS vendors. You have a dedicated partner success manager here to help you get your relationship solid and working flawlessly with the vendors. We have an on-demand Why SaaS search that helps you discover the apps and the programs to help you help your clients exactly how they need it and where they need it. It is the most comprehensive data per app anywhere online. And best of all, we facilitate personal introductions. This is not just to some no-name reseller partner. We are giving you a dedicated SaaSmax partner person who will help you get on board. We educate you, and we have a white labeled SaaS web store, and it is free. And today we are going to be talking about Contractworks, and I'd like to introduce you to Will Reynolds, the CEO of Contractworks, as we talk about our product of the day, SecureDocs. Will, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you very much for having me, Laura. Appreciate it. It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's exciting to have you because, as I was saying, I wish when I was an MSP, I had this product to sell to, and I know legal is not the only vertical, and you're going to talk about that, but this product really fits, especially with so many people going digital.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a big move towards digitizing documents and document storage solutions, and we just have a great product that's really easy for companies to implement and actually make a difference to how they're handling any kind of paperwork, but specifically contracts and their contract obligations. So yeah, very happy to be here and looking forward to talking everyone through our reseller program.
And you have a special offer for SaaSmax resellers.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're already offering great rates, but there's an extra 10% available commission for the first 90 days following sign up. So anyone who listens to this now or recorded, come back to us and we can give you the extra rate boost for the first 90 days. But I'll talk through the rest of the commissions, and they're already really solid. So this is just an extra incentive.
That's awesome. And let's get started then.
Great, thank you. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about our company and our products. So our company is actually called SecureDocs Inc. And SecureDocs has been around for about 5 years. And we actually span out of a larger company, a public company called AppFolio, where I used to work. So our first product was created there and spun out, and we went independent from AppFolio in 2014. And we have some great talent in the business. Our technical talent is second to none. They've built products like GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar, which we're using for this conference right now. As CTO's name's actually on patents with those products, and other very successful companies. AppFolio went public and just went through the $1 billion mark a couple of weeks ago in terms of value. So some great success and track records through the founding team. Contractworks is a development on an earlier product and specifically designed to work with companies that are looking to manage their contract obligations. So we'll go into the product in a little bit more detail, but it's one of two products we offer, and it's the one that I think would be most interesting to resellers. And so the company now, we've been around a while, we've got customers in 55 countries, and our main focus is providing easy-to-use business software that solves real problems at a sensible price point. So typically we're offering something that people can get up and running within a day or two and at a price point that's not going to break the bank. So what do we do? Contractworks, it's a web-based software solution. So it's a subscription-based model, and it allows companies to take control of managing their contracts with storage, electronic signature, alerts, and reporting. So anyone who's familiar with contract lifecycle management software may be familiar with solutions from some pretty big companies, IBM, there's a number of them, that make very expensive and very complex products. We take a portion of that lifecycle, which is the part of getting the contract or the document signed and then stored, reported on. So what you can do is apply kind of tags or metadata to the document, and we give people a very easy way to keep track of their obligations. So when's my contract expiring? Do I want to do anything with it when it's going to expire? So we go on to the next slide. So what does this, why would people do this? Why would your clients be interested in this product? So the reality is many companies have problems managing contracts and other business critical documentation. And specifically with managing contracts, they're missing opportunities to renegotiate or cancel contracts. So if you imagine someone that's signed a $100,000 contract with some kind of supplier, and they missed the opportunity that year to maybe renegotiate or cancel the contract, it can be extremely expensive. So the cost of that missed opportunity is quite often a leading motivator for people to look for software like ours. Sometimes, and it depends really on the industry, but sometimes they're also putting their company at risk by not knowing where contracts are and what their obligations are, so there can be a compliance risk. We have a lot of companies in the healthcare space, for example, where compliance is a big concern, and they're tracking items that could cost them money in terms of fines and other penalties if they are not up to date and compliant. And then the other thing, which is pretty pervasive, is companies just wasting huge amounts of time getting contracts signed, filed, and stored, and then just finding them again later. It's just hard. They're in filing cabinets, and going through those is extremely expensive in terms of people's time. So our product, it can work for companies with no solution. We get a lot of people coming to us who are trying to just manage their contracts with a shared drive and maybe a spreadsheet to track expiration dates, for example. It's very common. We also get a lot of companies coming to us who have tried to buy something that's very complex, very expensive, and they haven't been able to implement it. It's broadly applicable. It can work for almost any type of company. There are certain niches where we do very well. Healthcare, I already mentioned, medical devices, technology, energy, government and non-profit as well. Actually, it's a really good spaces for us. So anything where people are dealing with a lot of paperwork and have some inefficiencies and want to do something about it, and those seem to be common verticals that we work in. And contract management software, it's a really high growth space. Companies are increasingly aware of the potential benefits. There's a lot of money being spent on advertising for us and other companies that do things that are somewhat similar, and yet the penetration of contract management software is really low. Our estimate is that at least maybe 85 to 90% of companies don't have a contract management solution in place. It doesn't mean they all need one, but certainly there's huge potential out there in the market for more companies adopting this type of software. So who are the best companies for buying Contractworks? Who should you target? The number one buyer within a company is a legal team. And legal can be a dedicated team of lawyers or paralegals. Legal can sometimes just roll up to the finance team or the CFO in smaller companies. But our typical customer does have some kind of legal expertise on board, and they're probably going to have 100 or more employees. Probably. Don't have to, but that's where things start to get tough in terms of managing contracts and paperwork problems as companies scale and get bigger than that. So general counsel, lawyer, paralegal, contract manager, people in procurement, compliance or risk, IT and finance, these are all potential buyers of Contractworks. Again, the spaces that we're in prevalently are healthcare, technology, government, nonprofit, retail, manufacturing, energy, pharma, and biotech. These are all great spaces. Again, any space can work, but these are the common ones. And our sales cycle is usually around 30 days. We offer a 30-day free trial of the software, and people are generally making decisions right at the end of the trial. So the sales cycle tends to be around 30 days, and yeah, it's a reasonably straightforward sale. Okay. The value propositions. Here's what your potential customers or clients might want to hear about, and the reasons that Contractworks could be a good option. So 5 reasons for using Contractworks. This is the absolutely key overriding reason people are buying the software. It's easy to use. And almost every software company will tell you their stuff's easy to use, but Contractworks can literally be implemented today, and you can obviously make ongoing improvements to it with time, but it really can get up and running in a single day. So it's easy to learn and adopt across the company. Again, a lot of other software out there just doesn't get used because it's hard to adopt. We built electronic signature into the system, so it has a fully binding digital signature built in. It's a very, very slick system. Your customers will not need a solution from DocuSign or EchoSign or any of the other providers, so they'll be able to save money there. We have a very strict security and privacy around our system. Our other product, our company name is SecureDocs, so it's a giveaway, and our other product is used by public companies doing deals, transactions, and so like mergers and acquisitions. So the privacy and security around those transactions is tantamount, and we have carried across those policies into Contractworks. So again, we fit really well into high compliance spaces like healthcare, where there is a lot of concern around privacy. And then the last thing is transparent pricing. We put it on our website. Our product's very affordable. It's essentially $500 a month for unlimited documents and unlimited users, and there's nothing to hide. So our customers love that, and it's just a very straightforward thing for them to be able to budget for. So the pricing plans, here they are. $6,000 for a 1-year subscription. We do also give a 3-month subscription option for companies that maybe want to kind of dip their toe in the water and they're not 100% sure about what they want, but I would say 90-something% of our customers are on a 12-month subscription and they pay $6,000 a year. And that includes unlimited users, unlimited documents, there's no implementation fee, we include support, an account manager will help them with setup and training, and they have a complete feature set included with upgrades at no extra cost. And the electronic signature feature, 5 users are enabled with that when the new account is set up, and the customer can buy more electronic signature users if they want to. We sell them in packs of 5 at $1,200 per year. It essentially breaks down to $20 per user per month, which is comparable, probably less than DocuSign, for example. And so onto the reseller program. Here's what you guys can make from introducing your clients to our product. Pretty straightforward. We just pay out based on the value of the contract, and we have an entry-level kind of offer at the moment where people can come straight in as a gold partner and earn 30% commission based on the sale. So if you sell an annual contract at $6,000, it's going to be an $1,800 fee. We're also offering the 10% boost to SaxMass resellers at the moment, so that would go up to a $2,400 fee over the next 90 days. And platinum partners, this is a new program we put in place, but platinum partners who achieve a certain quota can also get up to 40% of the value of the contract. For a limited time, everyone's coming in at gold partner level, and then also on an ongoing basis, commission is going to be paid for confirmed renewals. So the renewal process is actually very easy. All we're asking people to do is call up the client, make sure they're using the software, and confirm that they want to renew, and we'll pay half the introductory commission on every renewal. We have a very sticky product, so people will renew, and it's very easy to get them to renew. This is essentially money for doing almost nothing. We'll also provide a free Contractworks account for resellers to use internally, so $6,000 value if you can use it, and certainly you should use it to demonstrate to clients, but if you can use it internally as well, then good for you. And we'll be paying out commissions very rapidly on a monthly basis, or asking if the client pays us, and then we'll pay you out straight away. And look, Contractworks is in really high demand. It's easy to demonstrate, and it renews on a very consistent basis, so this is a great way to make money. And if we look at the next slide, you'll be able to see how this kind of commission can break out and the kind of money you can make here. So just looking at the top line, one client sold, client fee $6,000, commission 30%, reseller commission total in year one would be $1,800. Obviously, we also have that 10% accelerator at the moment, so at the moment it would actually be $2,400. On renewal, you get $900. All you got to do is call the client up and confirm the renewal, and it'll be $900. And by year 5, you would make $5,400 out of selling one client, and by year 10, $9,900. We then extrapolate down. If you can start selling any kind of volume of these deals, you can see how the numbers start to get extremely compelling. The one piece we haven't built in here is churn. Churn is really low, so you know, the numbers might not quite get to this kind of height, but churn at the moment is extremely low. We've got like a 98% retention rate on our clients. Okay. So looking, if you can sell a volume there, get to 100 customers, the commission after 10 years, you can easily make $1 million out of selling this product over a 10-year period. Okay. Thanks, Laura. Why our partners love Contractworks. Contractworks is affordable for all sizes of business. It can be used by any company that has contracts and documents. So again, very broadly applicable. Great margins for resellers and a really quick payout of commissions. A dedicated channel manager is available to answer questions for you, your clients, or about Contractworks. We're very happy to work with you to do the demonstrations, for example, and to you know, deal with the whole process of contracting with the client. And look, we're always updating and improving the product. We release new versions of the product on a more than monthly basis. Electronic signature was our last big feature that we put in, and has come with a bunch of very cool extra features. And we've got a Salesforce integration coming really soon. We're very excited about this. This takes us onto the sales side of any business. It says, hey, if you've got a sales team, we're going to be able to help you with the contracting with your clients, and we're going to be able to speed that up. You're going to be able to make money faster by using our products. Very compelling value proposition. Okay. How to pitch to your clients. Companies using Contractworks tend to come to one of two groups. They're trying to manage contracts using a combination of systems. Typical thing to look out for: SharePoint, Excel, Google Docs, and filing cabinets. So very typical setup is they've got all their contracts on SharePoint, and then they've got a spreadsheet or a Google Doc managing their obligations. Or from a group that's been working to implement a more complex or expensive solution, a full lifecycle solution, and it's just too hard to adopt. So look out for companies that are really struggling. They're paying a lot of money for something they're not using. That's a great opportunity. So showing a demo of Contractworks functionality and setting up potential clients with a trial allows them to test the functionality in their organization. So this is how we do it here. We do a demo, we run a trial, and the key is if you can get people using the product in the trial, more often than not, they will buy it. Quick recap, Contractworks, web-based software solution that allows companies to take control of managing contracts with central storage, electronic signature, alerts, and reporting. So reseller partners right now can earn up to 40% on new contracts signed, and also you're going to get paid out for confirmed renewals every year in perpetuity. So it's a great deal. Thank you for joining us today, and if you have additional questions or you're interested in being a reseller partner of SecureDocs, please let us know. And there's going to be contact information and other details coming up here on the next slide. Thanks so much.
And we do have some questions that have already started to come in. And this one is from Gil. Is your solution HIPAA compliant?
Yeah, so it fits very well into a HIPAA compliant environment. So in terms of stuff being actually HIPAA compliant, there's actually no such thing as a kind of HIPAA certification. However, there's a bunch of guidelines, and yes, absolutely, our solution fits into a HIPAA environment. And one of the main things is we keep our customers, sorry, not our customers, we keep our employees and you know, support members and so on completely out of our customers' data. So we can commit to the client that no one on our end is going to be looking at anything. that's a really big deal in terms of data privacy, particularly in the healthcare space.
I think that's so important with everything going on nowadays, is to understand how it all fits into that aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
When you were talking, you said that Contractworks is really simple compared to other programs. Can you explain a little bit more about what you mean by how simple it is?
Yeah, so very clean, simple user interface, and relative to a lot of programs out there, not trying to be all things to all people. We're trying to solve a very specific set of problems. It's like, where are my contracts? How can I get them signed? How can I find them? How can I know when they're going to expire? And can I pull a report? And this is a much more kind of simple set of goals than a full life cycle system, which is saying we want to actually create the contract, we want to redline the contract, we want to be able to push it back and forth and collaborate on this document before we even go to the signing process. So by keeping things very simple, we're knocking off some of the really big problems that people are trying to tackle, but we're not trying to get into the real kind of nitty-gritty complex stuff that is tough to implement and tough to adopt.
Where does the actual data get stored, Will?
All right, so we're a U.S. Company. Despite my strange accent, we're based in California, and we use Amazon Web Services for all of our data storage needs, and specifically we use their facility in Virginia with backup and disaster recovery on the West Coast. But so it's in the U.S. 100%. Nothing ever leaves the U.S., and our company is based in the U.S. as well. So yeah. US-based Virginia storage. Yeah, so by using Amazon, we leverage all of their security, and they have by far the best cloud platform out there. Gartner ranks ahead of everybody else by miles, Google and Microsoft and so on. So it's a phenomenally secure system, and we have amazing in-house expertise when it comes to running systems on Amazon. Our CTO actually founded a company that specializes in how to scale software products onto Amazon, a company called RightScale. So we have incredible in-house expertise, and it's been an amazing platform for us. We've been on it for 4 years. We've really had zero issues with it, so it's been great for us.
Knock on wood. Okay, what's the relationship between the vendor, the reseller, and customer? Because a lot of the SaaSmax partners that we work with want to hang on to that relationship with their clients. So how does that work with you?
Well, firstly, we're flexible. Ultimately, because we're selling a subscription-based software product, the reseller can't really buy it, and put it on a shelf and then go and physically resell it. We have to contract with the end user. We're going to be storing their data, right? We're going to be taking on responsibilities for their product, for their information, sorry, I should say, and their contracts. And so we have to contract directly with them. Up to the point of contracting with them, we're completely happy for the reseller to do absolutely everything if they want to. But we're also very happy to get involved as well if they want help with demonstrations and an engagement around the product. Then we have people available who'd be happy to jump on a call. So it's really up to the individual reseller. Ultimately, when it comes to the sale, we have to contract with the end user. They need to sign our terms and conditions.
But at the same time, with your compensation plan for the reseller, you're encouraging them to touch base with them for renewals. You're not doing that. You want the reseller to reach back out and do that touch base, correct?
Absolutely. If they have that relationship with their client and they want to be able to earn a little bit of extra commission, then, well, and actually a really decent amount of extra commission, then absolutely they should do that. Again, if they don't want to, we can take it on. But, for making money for doing not very much, I'd recommend they do.
Yeah, might as well touch base with the client that's already signed and say, well, maybe it's an opportunity to see what else they might need at that same time.
It is absolutely an opportunity, and our average engagement for a renewal is 1 or 2 emails of do you guys want to renew or not? Yes or no. Can you send us an invoice, kind of thing. So that's about it. It's very simple. So easy way to make money.
Now, you had mentioned the different value propositions that Contractworks has for the clients. What is the return on investment for a client to invest in something like this? Is it just the time savings, or is there something beyond that?
No, if it's just No, there's usually multiple things, and the main piece is usually they're aware that they've missed some kind of opportunity to cancel or renegotiate a contract at some point. So that would be the prime reason. So, you know, they've had a contract with a vendor of $20,000, they've missed it, they've had to pay out $20,000 for something they're not using or don't want, and they suddenly realize that they don't really want to do that again, or, you know, if it's a bigger contract, it could be even worse. So our stuff at $6,000 is a pretty easy way to mitigate that. And then time is a big one. You know, if you have dedicated employees, maybe you don't care about the time. If you've got people you're paying already to do this stuff, so, you know, that can be a tricky one to quantify. But the general pattern is the more time, the bigger a company gets or the faster it grows, the more time gets sucked in dealing with this stuff. So fast growing companies can be a great place to go and look for this opportunity. And then the final thing is compliance. And some companies just have to have something in place to be able to comply with certain regulations. And healthcare, I gave us an example earlier. You know, if you've got nurses licenses, for example, you need to know if they're up to date or not. And if they're not, you can be in big trouble and it can be very expensive. So compliance is another big driver for people wanting to get to grips with this kind of stuff.
I never thought of it in terms of in healthcare, that aspect. I always keep thinking of contracts, but it's licensing. It's anything that can be coming due. You help manage all of that.
Yep,
anything that
absolutely
needs to be resubmitted, renewed, whatever it may be.
Yeah. So another big one is intellectual property management. So patents expiring. We have companies using it for tracking patent portfolios. You go to a transportation company that has, you know, 50 drivers. If they all got driving licenses up to date, right, they'll be tracking that kind of information. So you can get pretty creative with it, and it's, you know, it's customizable. So you could use it in any of those kind of scenarios where, you know, dates have got to be tracked against some kind of license, contract, or piece of documentation.
Okay. Rodney is asking, what about marketing collateral to help them get the information out?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very much available. We have a portal that you can log into through our website. You go to the resellers and sign up there, and we provide all kinds of collateral. So there's PowerPoint presentations that you can use. We have a pricing matrix that you can send out, and other you know, presentations and details that you can provide to your clients. And we're also you know, very keen, obviously, to be able to train the resellers to be able to sell this appropriately. So we're happy to spend whatever time we need to with the resellers team so that they understand the value propositions and how to demonstrate the product.
That's great, because since you give them a free license, they're going to be playing with it themselves, so they really get to understand the unique ways that it can be used.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
great.
Absolutely.
And another question just before we get ready to end. On the pricing matrix, is the reseller commission built in?
Is the reseller commission built in? Let's go back to that.
Going back on that screen.
How do you mean by built in? I'm not really sure.
So I read this as the fee the client would pay just for number one is $6,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the client sees. That's the price they see on your website. Reseller 30% commission, excluding the extra 10 right now. So the reseller would get $1,800 or $2,400 right now.
Yeah, absolutely. No, the reseller's commission is on top of the client pays us $6,000 and we pay $1,800 to the reseller.
Okay.
And $6,000 is the standard price. So we're paying out to acquire the customer.
Okay. So Rodney, hopefully that answered your question. If not, please let me know. So to go next steps with Contractworks and SASMAX, you can get in touch with the folks at Contractworks, with Will or with Patricia at partners@securedocs.com. Email them or call 805-730-0931. And if you'd prefer, reach out to me. I'm happy to connect you directly with Patricia or with Will. Clint Gatewood can also do that connecting for you. Remember, if you don't talk to the vendor partners, you can't sell and start collecting your commissions. I love the pricing models, Will. I mean, you're doing something really exceptional for a product that can be used in so many different ways other than just contracts.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. It's very broadly applicable.
These are the next few webinars and events that are coming up. We have a Cybersecurity Channel Roadshow coming up on June 28th and several other webinars. Don't leave money on the table. Become a SaaSmax reseller today and become a Contractworks partner as well. Have a great day, everyone, and we want to thank you so much for being with us today on this webinar.